Thomas and Friends Retold. Episode 17. Dirty Objects. James in a Mess. Toby and Henrietta were enjoying their new job on the island of Sodor, but they did look old-fashioned and needed new paint. James was rude whenever he saw them. "Yick! What dirty objects!" he would say. At one point, Toby and Henrietta lost patience. "James, why are you red?" he asked. "I'm a splendid engine," answered James. "Ready for anything. You never see my paint dirty." "Oh," said Toby innocently. "That's why you needed bootlaces to be ready, I suppose," he roasted. Henrietta snickered, while James went redder than ever and snorted off. It was such an insult to be reminded of the time a bootlace had to be used to mend a hole in one of his coach's brake pipes. At Knapford Station, James left his coaches and got ready for his next train. It was a slow freight train, stopping at every station to pick up and set down cars. James hated slow freight trains. "Dirty cars from dirty sidings! Yick!" he fumed. Starting with only a few, he picked up more and more cars at each station until he had a long train. At first, the cars behaved well, but James bumped them so crossly they were determined to get back at him. Presently, they approached the top of Gordon's Hill. Heavy freight trains would halt there to set their brakes. James had had an accident with cars before and should have remembered this. "Wait, James, wait!" said the driver, but James wouldn't wait. He was too busy thinking what he would say to Toby and Henrietta when they next met. When the train was now going down, the troublesome truck's chance had come. "Hurrah! Hurrah!" they laughed, and banging their buffers and pushed James down the hill. "On! On! Faster! Faster!" chanted the trucks. "Not again! Not again!" screamed James. He wanted to stop, but no matter how hard he braked, the load was too heavy and continued pushing him along the line. And to make matters worse, disaster laid ahead. There were tar tankers on the line, and James crashed straight into them. Tar flew everywhere and all over James. He was black from smoke box to cab. He was more dirty than hurt, but the tar tankers and some cars were all to pieces. Toby, Percy, Judy, and Jerome were all sent to help clean up the mess, and came as quickly as they could. "Look here, Percy!" exclaimed Toby. "Whatever is that dirty object?" "That's James. Didn't you know?" asked Percy. "It's James's shape," replied Toby. "But James is a splendid red engine, and you never see his paint dirty." James pretended he hadn't heard Toby's roast. "Enough chit-chat, you two," said Jerome. "We've got work to do," added Judy. "Okay," said Toby and Percy. They all cleared away the cars, mess, and helped James to the Sodor steamworks. Sir Topham Hatt met them there. "Well done, Percy and Toby." He then turned to James. "Fancy letting your cars get the best of you. I am surprised. You're not fit to be seen. You must be cleaned at once, and Toby shall have a nice new coat of paint." "Please, sir, can Henrietta have one too?" asked Toby. "Certainly." "Oh, thank you, sir. She will be pleased." All James could do was watch Toby as he ran off happily with the news. "Get well soon, James," said Percy, and he went off to do his other jobs. Poor James knew full well that he was now the dirty object. "Oh, the indignity," moaned James. "Ha! That's my line!" laughed Gordon, passing by.